Hey guys, welcome to Brian's Man Cave, episode 94. Today I'm going to be looking at Pitfall. Pitfall 1, Pitfall 2, and Pitfall 3. Now, Pitfall 1 and 2 are pretty well known in the video game, in the retro gaming world. It's probably both of them have been on a ton of systems. They started off as, Atari games, and so that's what I'm going to play them on. I'm going to play the original Pitfall on the Atari. Even though I have it on, other systems, I just prefer this one because it's, it's the best one, I think. It's actually one of the better Atari games out there. And, of course, its sequel, Pitfall II, which is, I would say they took Pitfall and just amped it up and made an even better game. Both great in their own ways. Both, made by the same company, the same programmer. Really great games. For Pitfall 3, though, I have to break out the Commodore 64. I don't know how well known this version of Pitfall is. It feels like it's just a reboot of more of a Pitfall game than it is like Pitfall 3, because it doesn't necessarily look like it follows these two anyways. But, it's kind of like a great rendition of this game. But let's take a look at all three games and see, just look at the little differences on them and see how they are. Alright, let's start off with Pitfall on the Atari 2600. This game is I think one of the best games on the system. I know there's a lot of other great games. I mean, there's always going to be, games like Hero and stuff. Whoops. Just jumped into a pit there. And, of course, Activision has a lot to do with it. Activision made a lot of the best games, I think. I think a lot of people will say that. But this gave, so many different multi-levels and, such a different game compared to what people were probably used to playing on the Atari. So when this came out, I'm sure it blew everybody away. Kind of a simple concept. You just got to go through the jungle. Got the little Tarzan yell. Whoa. Those logs. As you can see, I'm not playing very well here. It's just really jumping and, jumping. Now this game does loop, so, you go through the whole game and just loops. Doesn't end until the timer runs out. Or you lose all your lives. Oops. I don't know why I keep going down those staircases. Now that's the thing. When I play this game, I never go down the staircases. I know you really should, because it does help you get around the obstacles and stuff like this. This can really slow you down. But that little creature down there, that little white guy, he's really hard to jump over. I mean, it's like you got to be precise when you jump over him. You have to have the perfect timing. And there was a money bag. So you pretty much collect the treasures. I mean, this is a very classic game. I think everybody pretty much knows this game. It's one of the best ones. I mean, by far. Okay, on to Pitfall 2. Now, this game also, I mean, a lot of Atari fans are very familiar with it as well. I mean, it kind of amped things up from the first Pitfall. You can see it looks pretty similar. Has some really great sound, really great music. The cartridge itself has a little chip in there that helps with the sound effects and stuff. Now, if only he could duck. That's what I think is missing in this game, is the ability to duck. All you can do is jump, just like you did in the first game. No difference. It's got the ladders, it's got all the same kind of stuff in there. So I mean, when you're on this top board, it kind of just feels like you're playing Pitfall, but there's no pits. And I got my gold bar. So where this game changes is when you go down these holes, and you end up on these kind of levels. And they did make jumping over that guy a little bit easier in this one. But yeah, you pretty much just go to these platforms, and your object is to get to the that dog thing. This is like a save point, which is cool. That way when you die, you don't go all the way back to the beginning, you just go back to your last save point. Because that can get frustrating. Now this game is huge. I mean, it's got a lot of boards, a lot of platforms, I guess you want to call it. You just kind of navigate yourself around and find them all. I really like this game. I mean, I used to play this a lot on the Commodore 64 before I had an Atari. And even when I got my first Atari, I never had this game. It took a while before I got my hands on it. See, that's me dying and going right back to the save point. So it's really important you hit those save points. Yay! You gotta find all these gold bars. Essentially, you just gotta get to to the end point, and whatever your score is, that's pretty much the game. So, unlike the original one, where you just keep going and going and going until you die, this one actually has a plot. It goes all the way down. It's kind of frustrating when you start falling and you don't want to fall. And land in the water. He has the ability to swim in this game. I guess that's another thing that's different. Swim. Kind of reminds me of a different game, Jungle Hunt. Can't really do much while you're swimming. You just kind of go up and down and look for the ladder to get out. A lot more to this game. I really enjoy it. Wish I had a knife I could stab that electric eel, but that would probably be a bad idea. Again, kind of like Jungle Hunt. Jungle Hunt's a nice game too. Got that on my radar. It's a long swimming hole. Where's the ladder? Okay, Pitfall 3. Now this is obviously a much different look to it. And this wasn't on, like, this game didn't appear on the Atari or any other systems that I know of. There is other Pitfall games, like there's Pitfall 3D, there's Super Pitfall. But this one I think is like, trying to mimic the first Pitfall. So let's just hit the button there. So obviously the character looks a little different. And there's some different obstacles going on there that I don't know what that is. And, oh, they kind of changed the pits up around. But as you can see, I mean, it's trying to just be Pitfall. Well, but much harder. And you'll notice how he drops down on this side of the screen instead of here on the original Pitfall. That way you can't cheat yourself through a level. Oh, wait a minute. What if I go this way? Ah! What is all that stuff coming at me? How do I get around that? Oh, I can duck. Something that was missing in the other Pitfall games. The ability to duck. And I wonder if going down here really is... Ah! Fireballs. So that wasn't fun. Try that again. Whoa. I don't know why I jumped there. The music in this is really strange too. So I guess instead of having like crocodiles, they just made the pits kind of different. Whoa. This is much more difficult. At least I'm finding it anyways. Is there going to be a pit there? Yep. Wow, the pits are really fast too. Pits are the pits. Lots of crazy artwork in this game too. I don't know if you can get around those fireballs. Like, you have to jump over them or something? Oh, Medusa head. Snake thing. Alright. The only thing that's weird is the music only really plays when you're running. Oh. See? It's weird. The jumping noise is weird too. Oh. This game's a little bit more frustrating than... Got a duck. I kind of feel like I'm playing more like a Montezuma's Revenge type of game than a Pitfall game. Oh, it's got the blocks down there. Uh-oh. I don't have the manual to this game, so I don't really know what is really going on and who this guy is. This is not made by the same people who made the original, that's for sure. It's kind of a frustrating game. I think his jump is weird. He really jumps far. I'm not getting anywhere. Jump! Jump! Wow. Is that even possible to make it? So yeah, I mean, Pitfall 1 is one of the best games, I would say, on the Atari. And, you know, it was a trailblazer. I think it set the stage for a lot of side-scrolling games. What David Crane did with this game is quite amazing. And I think when this came out, it blew a lot of people's minds. It was like, wow, you know, especially for the system it was on. I think a lot of people were just kind of blown away by it. I remember when I was a kid playing it on the Intellivision and was really impressed by it. Pitfall II, they really he changed it up. I mean, he could have just went with a simple, you know, I'm just going to change up a few graphics here and there, or, you know, add a little different enemy or something. No, he changed the game style completely and actually gave you a point. Actually said, you got to rescue, you know, got to get the gold, you got to rescue that dog thing, whatever it is. I still don't know what that is. I got to find that out. But that, you know, there's actually, like, you know, other than this one where you have to just keep running and running and running until you die, this one actually gave you a, you know, a plot and a point and all that other stuff. Pitfall 3. Now, I don't know the origin story of that. I haven't really looked into it too much. I don't think there's much on it online that I've seen anyways. And I don't have a manual. It's like one of those games I just kind of ended up with. And it's really, like, they just really tried to take Pitfall, the concept of Pitfall, the first one, and just amp it up. Started adding all these funky graphics and new sound effects and make it harder. I think that's all they were doing, right? It doesn't seem like they added any kind of any real further originality to it. Sure, they replaced the crocodiles with those, you know, swamp things that were opening and closing, which was kind of weird. And that fireball thing down below, really, I mean, I didn't even try to get around that thing. But yeah, I just found that the controls were awful. It was hard to get this guy to jump properly and go where I wanted him to go. It really wasn't that great of a game. And I mean, it's not made by Activision. It's not made by these guys. The original programmer probably had nothing to do with it. It's probably somebody else who just thought, I'm going to make my own Pitfall game, and I'm going to call it Pitfall 3. So I don't know. Is it fair to really consider it the third Pitfall when it's really not that great of a game? You know, it had its moments, and sure, the sound effects were there. It was a little bit weird, though, when I was running. Like, you know, the music happens when you run. Then when you stop, the music stops. So it's like, blah, 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 blah. And I was like, that's why? Why not just have the music going? Or turn the music off completely? Or maybe just play it when you die? You know, things like that. It's kind of not that great of a game. So, a little disappointing, but whatever. I know there's a lot of other Pitfall-style games out there. There's like a Super Pitfall, you know, for the Super Nintendo. I don't know all the other Pitfalls. There's been a lot of other ones. There's like a 3D one. Never crazy about those. I remember seeing one on the phone, a phone game. It was like a Pitfall game, and I'm like, this isn't Pitfall. So, and you know, on top of that, I do have the Activision Classics pack on my phone, and I tried playing Pitfall on that, and I just find that using the pad or the touchscreen is really difficult to control and jump. But I mean, it's great to have it. When I'm bored and I got my phone with me, I could play Pitfall. Always my go-to game on that one. I tried doing Hero on it, and it's just too difficult. Anyways, yeah, I just wanted to show off a couple of great games, all Pitfall, and see what you have to say. I mean, I'm sure a lot of you have probably never even seen Pitfall 3 before. If you even want to call it Pitfall 3, because I don't know. Maybe they just ripped off the name. Who knows? Anyways, hope you liked the episode. Let me know what you think in the comments below. Hope you subscribe to my channel. Talk to you later.